Chapter 20. Nicholas watched all the activity from the window. Workers laughed and argued as they unloaded the catch. Seagulls screamed overhead. Cranes whirred, lifting fish from the boats. Trucks zoomed onto the pier. Buyers haggled over prices. Fish, packed in ice, left the pier, headed to markets all over the state. Edward joined him. "Now this is more like it. The boat has stopped moving. We are back on land and getting closer to my home all the time." "Tony said we should hitch a ride on the crane lifting fish off of our boat," Nicholas said. "We can hide in the totes full of fish." Nicholas and Edward tried to stay out of the way of the fast-moving crew. Everyone was eager to finish unloading and head back to Gloucester. Nicholas watched the crew stack totes on the deck. The cranes picked them up and set them on the pier where other men weighed them on a scale. Seagulls perched everywhere, watching for anything that would make a meal. The two animals crept closer to the action. "If we time our jump just right, we can get on one of those totes without the crew seeing us," Nicholas said. "I don't want to spend any more time with those fish," Edward said. "Isn't there another way to get off this boat?" "Come on, Edward. This might be our only chance." With that, Nicholas made a leap for the tote, scrambling in just as one of the crew put another tote on top. Nicholas looked out from the space between them. "Hurry up, Edward. We don't want to get separated now." Edward jumped on top of the last tote just as the crane lifted them off the boat. "Hey, where did you come from, little guy?" one of the crew said. "I didn't know we had a stowaway." Everyone laughed, watching Edward rise in the air and land with a bump on the pier. The seagull swooped in and pecked at Edward. "You watch that now," Edward said to the gull. "I'm not some fish bait for your meal." All the gulls were in the air now in a flurry of white feathers. "Come on, Edward," Nicholas said, hopping from his tote. "Let's get out of here." He shoved Edward forward as he swatted away the gulls. They both ran toward the land. The fishermen, watching the scene, laughed at the retreating animals. "I guess that chipmunk doesn't want to become a fisherman like us," one said as they all went back to work. Nicholas and Edward dodged people, trucks, and the pesky seagulls as they ran off the pier and down the street. They followed people streaming along the sidewalk. A small building with a large T sign ahead seemed to be their destination. A determined seagull made one last dive at Edward as he and Nicholas entered the glass door. "We'll be safe from the birds in here," Nicholas said. They bounded down the steps. The people hurrying by paid no attention to the small animals. Everyone arrived in an underground room and stopped at the edge of a road. Nicholas noticed another mouse sniffing around the edge of the room. He went over to talk. "Hello there. Can you help my friend and me? I'm Nicholas. What's your name?" "I'm Patrick. What do you want?" "We're trying to find our way south. Can you direct us?" "Yeah, I can help you. You see, what you want to do is take this Silver Line bus here." He pointed to the empty roadway. "Get off at South Station. Take the red line into Park Street. From there, you can get to anywhere in the city you want to go." Patrick scurried off on business of his own. Nicholas looked at Edward. "I didn't understand anything Patrick just said." "Just follow me," Edward said as a big Silver Line double bus rolled up. "And don't get stepped on." Nicholas avoided the feet of people moving forward. Everyone seemed to be intent on finding room on the crowded bus. Edward hopped up and Nicholas followed him. The door swung closed. Silently, the bus headed into the tunnel. Nicholas could only see concrete on the ground, on the walls, and overhead. Nicholas slumped down on the floor of the bus. He was sad, tired, and lonely. He wanted to find his uncle, but this bus was going down into a dark tunnel. He wondered where the bus would take them. Nicholas wondered how they would find their way back to the sunlight.